Greetings and welcome to EKB ASMR. If you enjoy content such as this, I would encourage you to subscribe and to drop as many likes as you see fit. This channel deals with geographical concepts and general knowledge of geographical states and countries and physical features and landforms, but delivered in a style conducive to ASMR, relaxing knowledge. So, let us begin as we explore the continent of Europe. Europe is one of the oldest continents that has been civilized on our planet. Parts of Europe were inhabited many thousands of years ago, and indeed, some of our oldest cities are still alive and thriving in Europe today, as they were years ago. Europe is often described as a continent, in which it is a continent, but it is also described as a peninsula of peninsulas. You may recall from an earlier video that I had posted that a peninsula is defined as a body of land that is surrounded by water, mostly or mainly on three sides, and connected to land on the last side. A working example of a peninsula that people from the United States or Americans would be familiar with would be Florida. Florida is a perfect peninsula in that it is surrounded by water almost entirely, except for the northern part of the state that connects to Georgia and parts of Alabama. So, with that being said, Europe has many peninsulas. Europe has many cities and many different types of topography. So let me begin by describing some of the physical features of Europe. Some of the seas that surround it would include the Norwegian Sea to the north off the coast of Norway, the Atlantic Ocean to the west, which borders the countries of Iceland, which is an island country to itself, Ireland, Scotland, and England, known more as the United Kingdom, more commonly named the United Kingdom or the UK. The UK itself is separated from mainland Europe by the Strait of Dover, also the English Channel. Other major bodies of water would include the North Sea, the Bay of Biscay, the Strait of Gibraltar, which actually narrowly separates the continent of Africa from one of the southernmost tips of Europe, which in this case would be the country of Spain. Lying almost entirely to the south would be the Mediterranean Sea, which is one of the largest seas that Europe houses, not to mention the Adriatic Sea, the Tyrrhenian Sea, the Ionian Sea, the Asian Sea, the Black Sea, the Sea of Azov, and the Baltic Sea, if I failed to mention that earlier. One of the three major peninsulas that make up Northern Europe, also known as Scandinavia, would be Norway, Sweden, and Finland. These three countries are amongst the northernmost countries on the continent, and we might mention that they are also some of the coldest on the continent. There is also Iceland that lies to the west about some almost maybe 1,000 miles, which indeed, hence its namesake, Iceland, we would perceive it to be quite cold most of the year as well. As we go back to mainland Europe, we have the Alps, which is a major mountain range that runs through the central core of Europe. and it divides many countries as it divides, and well, we as it divides, but as it makes its way through the center of the continent. Needless to say, some people don't realize that Russia also is part of Europe. Russia happens to be a country that lies in both Asia and Europe, two different continents, but a majority of the inhabited land of Russia lies on the European side of the mountain chain known as the Ural Mountains, which separates Europe from the continent of Asia. St. Petersburg, Moscow, Rostov, Volgograd, Kazan, Samara, and other major cities all lie west of the Ural Mountains. Europe has been a tourist destination for many, many years. There are so many traditions and cultures available there that one would have to carefully plot out a unique and well-guided tour to actually get the best of what Europe has to offer. The continent as a whole is a tourist destination that is on the bucket list of many a weary traveler. So, at this time, I would like to go through some of the countries and major and capital cities that occupy Europe, starting with Iceland. If you were to go to Iceland, the main city or the primary city would be the city of Reykjavik. If we come over east to Norway, you would have to make sure that you stop in the major city of Oslo. And then if you continue east into Sweden, of course you have to go to Stockholm and maybe even to Göteborg. And as you continue east to Finland, you would have to make a stop at Helsinki. As you travel into Estonia, you would go to the capital city of Tallinn, Latvia, the capital city of Riga, Lithuania, the capital city would be Vilnius. In Belarus, you would go to the capital city of Minsk. In the Ukraine, you would definitely have to stop off of the banks of the Dnieper River in the main city, capital city of Kyiv. As we make our way downward, you may stop at Moldova to the capital city of Chisinau. And you may also stop at Odessa, a site of many ancient ruins. As we continue into Romania, you would have to stop in the very Gothic city of Bucharest. And be sure that you don't let the Draculas get after you. Bulgaria, you would stop at Sofia. And then we have a unique country of Turkey, which actually lies in both Europe and in Asia. But only a small portion of it lies in Europe. And their main city that actually straddles the border or the channel between the Black Sea and the Asian Sea is Istanbul. As you continue downward, you would go to the ancient country of Greece, which many years ago was also an ancient civilization of great proportion. And that capital city for Greece would be Athens, also a site of many ancient ruins. And then, of course, you'd go to Macedonia, to Skanje. Albania, you would stop at Tyran. Montevideo, you would go by Podgorica. Bosnia and Herzegovina would be Sarajevo. Serbia, Belgrade. Hungary, Budapest. Slovakia, Bratislava. Poland, Warsaw. The Czech Republic, Prague. Austria, Vienna, the home of Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. Italy, Rome. Germany, Berlin. Denmark, Copenhagen. The Netherlands, Amsterdam. Belgium, Brussels. France, Paris or Paris. Spain, the tropical city of Madrid. Portugal, the coastal city of Lisbon. England would be London. Ireland would be Dublin. All of these cities and countries would be wonderful places to make a wonderful guided tour or have a tour guided exploration of all of these unique and interesting places. So remember, if you get an opportunity to go to Europe, make sure that each and every day that you're there, and no matter where you're at in Europe, that you have the continental breakfast. Europe, the peninsula of peninsulas, and many wonderful people and wonderful and innovative and creative cultures. Thank you.